Alrighty, let's begin in child's pose. Bringing the big toes to touch and knees wide. And create an intentional breath. Intentional in through the nose. Intention out the nose. Breath in. Tabletop. And you have the option to stay here for 5 breaths or move into downward facing dog. If you're going into down dog, bring your hands, one hand forward, and tuck your toes, and lift your knees and hips up towards the ceiling. No matter where you are, hug your belly button into the spine to activate your core. Lift your heels high. And bend the knees if you're in down dog. Forward fold, step to the top edge of the mat. In your forward fold, you can make your way up to your palms or elbows. But if you're feeling like you have a little bit more space to fold, you can bring fingertips to the mat or reach opposite hand to opposite elbow. So no matter where you are, keep a little bit of softness through the knees and lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Everyone bring your palms to your thighs, halfway lift. Fold forward. Tall mountain reach up towards the ceiling. Bring your hands to heart center. Draw your left knee up towards your chest, and if balance is a little bit of a challenge today, you can keep the left big toe on the mat, or if you're feeling confident with that today, bring the knee in towards the chest. Warrior one, slowly step the left foot towards the back edge of the mat and point the back toes towards the top left corner of the room. Fingertips can reach down towards the mat. If you're having a little bit of an issue balancing today, you can bring the back knee to the mat. Ground down the front foot into the mat to draw the hips towards the front edge of the mat. Reach the hands up towards the ceiling, breath in. Warrior two, if you're down on the knees, you can point the left toes over the right edge of the mat. If you're up off the knees, point the back toes towards the left edge of the mat. Press the tops of the shoulders away from the ears. Breath in, keep your legs as they are. Extended side angle. Bring your right forearm to your front thigh and lift the left hand up towards the ceiling. Your legs stay exactly as they are in your warrior two, no matter if your knee is down on the mat or lifted. Breath in. Tabletop or downward facing dog. Just dependent on if you want to take this practice on your knees or with them lifted. Breath in. Forward fold, walk to the top edge of the mat. Again, use support with hands on the thighs or lean in the belly on the thighs. Bring your hands to your knees, half lift, breath in. Forward fold, breath out. Tall mountain reach, up and back. Bring your hands to heart center. Keep the tops of the shoulders away from the ears. Bring the left and right knee up towards the chest. Again, you can pause with a big toe on the mat or foot all the way off the mat. Warrior one, step the right foot towards the back edge. Right toes will point towards the top right corner of the room. Your choice to have fingertips reaching down towards the mat or lifted up towards the ceiling. If you reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling, you're going to find more stretch through this right hip flexor. Again, you have the option to bring back knee to the mat. Breath in. Warrior two. Again, option for knees down or lifted. Inhale, extended side angle. Bring the left arm to the front thigh, right hand up towards the ceiling. Ground the feet into the mat. Hug the low belly to the spine. Breath in, down dog or tabletop. 3 breaths. Breath in, forward fold, top edge of the mat. Half lift, fold, tall mountain breath in, bring the hands to heart center. Tree pose, lift the right foot anywhere on the left inner leg. With that, you can have the right big toes resting on the mat for a little bit more balance. The higher up you bring your right foot on the leg, a little bit more challenge it's going to be with your balance. Bring your feet to touch. Tree pose, lift the left foot. Bring the feet to Tall mountain. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Stay here, breath out. Low lunge. Step the right foot towards the back edge of the mat. And bring the right knee to the mat. Our next pose is half camel. You're gonna bring your right hand to your low back. You can bring the thumb towards the waist or place the palm at the low back. From there, lift the front of the pelvis up towards the belly button. Gently tuck in the tailbone. And from there, you might feel a stretch through the right hip flexor again. From there, ground the front foot into the mat. Reach the left hand towards the back wall. Other option for a little more stability, press the left palm into the left thigh. Spread your collarbones. Rise on up, breath in. Downward dog. Again, down dog or option for tabletop. Low lunge, step the right foot between your hands. Soften the left knee to the mat. Half camel, left side. Come into your hand bind with the left hand, so bring it to the low back or thumb to the waist. And lean the upper body towards the back edge of the mat. Hug low belly in to support the core. Rise up, breath in. And make your way to seated on your mat. Bridge pose. This is the same as the glute bridges that you do in the gym. So grounded down through the feet to lift the hips. The only thing that we'll add in here is to shimmy the shoulder blades underneath the back of the ribs. From there, if it feels comfortable to keep your hands apart, awesome. But otherwise, you have the option to clasp your hands underneath your hips. Have 5 more breaths. Ground down through the feet. Lift the hips maybe a little higher. Inhale. Release to the mat. Begin to take gentle rocks on the back. And we'll meet in seated. Boat pose. To start off with the pose, you can take it supported with thighs or hands underneath the thighs. From there, gently lean back into the pose, hug belly to spine. From there, if your heels lift, awesome. Or you can stay round. 5 breaths. Keep the chest nice and high. Release. Breath in and out. Make your way back to a tabletop or down dog. pigeon right side. Bring the right shin up towards the wrist. And then begin to settle the hips down towards the mat. From there, you can play with if you need to walk the left knee a little further back to find a deeper stretch. And then staying on your palms is absolutely an option if that's what works best in your body. But if you're looking for go a little bit deeper, make your way to forearms or using something to support yourself underneath your chest, like couch cushions, pillows, yoga blocks, all that good stuff. Be here for 10 more breaths. If you're on your forearms, make your way back to your palms. And everyone tabletop or down dog. Half pigeon left side. Take all the little wiggles and movements you need to get settled into the pose. And once you land, tap into the breath out. I kind of cued into at the beginning of practice, but creating a focus around it to settle into the pose and create a focus rather than concentrating on the stretch through the hip. Breath in. Make your way to seated. Bound angle. Bring the soles of your feet to touch and knees wide. A little bit different than what we would do in traditionally a butterfly is we take the heels a little further away from our hips, and that way we have space to come high up onto our sits bones and then maybe fold. If fold-in isn't something that you want in the practice right now, or you have the better option of an active bound angle where you can grab onto your ankles or your shins and pull your chest high. This might land as a deeper stretch through the inner hips. Waterfall. Make your way to land on your back. Once you land, send your heels up towards the ceiling. You can stay here like this. You can scooch towards a wall and place your heels up the wall there, or even grabbing something like a pillow or a block. You can place that underneath your hips. It'll give you a little bit more leverage there. And take in 4 more breaths. Hug the knees into the chest. And if you have a prop underneath the hips, take it out. Supine twist. Drop the knees over the left edge of the mat and gaze to the right. And switch sides. Bring your knees back to center. And take a good morning stretch. Pressing the heels and hands away from each other. Big breath in. Savasana. Take in any sort of restful position here, whether it's laying on the back or on the side. Laying here for 10 breaths.